And the shame falls on the people in power over the past several decades that protected the monster, Jeffrey Epstein, and his cabal that continued a nightmare. Jeffrey Epstein somehow was able to walk among the most rich, powerful people, not only in America, but foreign countries. Yesterday, I heard countries like Saudi Arabia, Russia, and even Israel.
I find it very interesting that Marjorie Taylor Greene, a MAGA Republican, is saying this, and at the same time, Donald Trump is saying this.
Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
And the White House have threatened Republicans that if they sign this petition to release the Epstein files, that is a hostile act. And if you are MAGA, listen to me. This petition that Marjorie Taylor Greene is backing up makes it to where the Justice Department cannot censor the names of the people involved because it will embarrass them. And it's searchable. So if you want to search Bill Clinton, you can. If I want to search DJT, I can. This is sending a message that there is no justice. There is only punishment for us, not for them. And they can get away with fucking anything. They can do anything that they want to our daughters. That is not justice. Call your rep. Get him to sign this fucking petition.
Ask you a question. I watched you speak at the rally, and it was so powerful. And something that you mentioned was that you were going to help other women compile the real Epstein list. Could you talk a little bit about what you meant by that?
Well, the DOJ has the list of people that were involved, so they're not releasing it. So I just feel like the best thing for us to do is just compile our own list from our experiences that we had with Epstein.
And could you also, once again, give me the name of your podcast?
It's called From Now On.
From Now On?
It's from survivor to survivor. We tell our stories.
Thank you so much for your time and also for sharing your story. I could see how deeply it impacted people. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
She has no experience. If she did, the country wouldn't be like it is right now.
Do you feel that Kamala Harris doesn't have enough experience to be the president of the United States?
She doesn't know what's going on.
Can you list for me some of Donald Trump's experience before he became president?
These MAGA supporters are so disassociated with reality that it's laughable. Can you imagine the mental gymnastics that these grannies have to do to justify what they just said? So let me get this straight. Going to law school and becoming a lawyer before becoming a district attorney, then going on to become the attorney general for the 5th highest economy on the planet, not 1 term, but 2, and becoming successful and knowledgeable enough to get voted in as a senator afterwards before ultimately becoming the vice president of the United States, isn't qualified enough in comparison to Donald Trump prior to his time in office? I want whatever they're having. Think about it. They're talking about a guy that was a failed actor and failed businessman that's bankrupted 6 companies and inherited his wealth from daddy. A guy who experts have said that if he didn't do anything with the money he inherited besides just putting it into safe stocks, would actually have more wealth than what he has now after all of his failed business ventures. Imagine wanting somebody to run the country like a business, which it's not, when that person pretty much failed at every aspect of business in their entire adult life. And that's not even including his moral character, which is disgusting, by the way. What makes these delusional MAGA supporters and Trump supporters in general think that he's more capable of running our country than Kamala Harris? He added $8 trillion to the deficit and gave tax breaks to billionaires, which didn't trickle down to the consumers. And the inflation that you faced a couple years back was tough, but it was a result of COVID, not Biden policies. Not to mention, if you think your taxes are still high, newsflash, you're still under Donald Trump's tax plan.
Look at this. Small businesses are in survival mode. 35 million small businesses are struggling to survive right now. If you did not know, small business is actually 98% of business in the United States. No, it's not corporation. And as you know, corporations are taking billion losses right now because of tariffs. So small business owners, they don't have that capital. They don't have that funding. Small business owners are typically normal people. They are struggling right now. Look at this. They are in survival mode. If you did not know, bankruptcies are already surging. Bankruptcies are surging for small business owners, farmers, and personal bankruptcy is already soaring. Small business is going to be devastated, and that means it will be devastating for the economy. Drop your comments and follow for more.
Guys, I'm really so sorry for all the people who were molested, who were once affected in the Epstein files, because I have been seeing a lot of videos and victims. Yeah, they have been coming out, sharing their terrifying, of what happened and how it happened. Guys, like, I do not really know the reason why they healed those lists. They healed the lists for so long. They do not want to release it. Like, they do not want the public to know about it or to know what really happened. And these people forgot the fact that these are innocent people who were molested for no reason, people who were abused, people who were abused without getting justice. Yeah, people who are voiceless. So they are now beginning to testify. So I don't know if you guys watched the clip. So guys, you watch the remaining clip of this video and let me know what you think about them in the comment section.
Oh my God, they know, and they know they can't stop it. I've known this was coming for 10 years, but until now, I didn't realize there was a name for it. It's the thing that makes us say, is it just me, or are there more crazies than ever before? The Trump spike in racism, sexism, and hate, it's the emotional foundation for the entire Make America Great Again movement. That nostalgia for when life in America was simpler and paler. But as soon as we began addressing it, boom. Extinction burst. This term is why I love science so much. You can take an idea from one field, like psychology, for example, and apply it to another field, like political science, and the principles still apply. Extinction burst is actually really simple. It's when you have a behavior and a reward, and you withdraw the reward in order to change the behavior. When you do that, usually to change an undesirable behavior, the behavior itself increases in frequency and intensity for a short period of time, until ultimately the subject changes the behavior, and then that behavior goes extinct. This is like you're at the store and you're swiping your credit card and it doesn't work, and so then you swipe your credit card like 15 more times until you're so angry you're freaking out and you're about to scream an F-bomb in the middle of Toys R Us, and then you say, I'll just pay with cash. The swiping is the behavior and the payment is the reward. So when the swiping doesn't work and you don't get the reward you need, you get madder and madder and you try it more and more until you change the behavior, which then results in the extinction of the original behavior. Now, extinction burst at the national level is much slower, but in this case, we actually know very clearly what triggered it. It was Obama's election in 2008. Sarah Palin, the Tea Party movement, the birther movement, and ultimately MAGA. It is a 10-year tsunami of rage in the face of inevitable extinction. This is why Republicans are still so angry. They know Trump winning can't stop it, and they know Trump in office can't stop it. They can feel the inevitable extinction of their own terrible beliefs. At this point, the only thing that'll stop it is if we let up. If you stop interfering with that undesirable behavior, it will go back to normal. So no, you're not crazy. Yes, you are doing the right thing, and yes, if you persevere, the extinction burst will end.
Have you noticed how many young men have started aligning themselves with the right? Not because they actually believe in tax policy or government regulation, but because somewhere along the line, liberal became synonymous with weak and conservative got branded as tough. And that didn't happen by accident. That's their messaging. And the right's been damn good at it because what they're selling isn't politics, it's identity. It's swagger, it's dominance, it's tribal validation dressed up as patriotism. They've convinced a large portion of this younger generation that if you show empathy, you're soft. If you care about people outside of your circle, you're some kind of snowflake. And if you question power or want to fix the system, you must hate America. Meanwhile, what's the left doing? fact-checking and hosting panels, writing think pieces on how to win hearts and minds, while the right is out here winning gut reactions. And that's the real issue, because in the absence of a counter-narrative, the loudest one wins. Let me say this clearly. Empathy isn't weakness. Fighting for people you don't know, that's strength. Standing up to power when it's easier to stay silent, that takes more guts than a hashtag and a rifle. You want to know what real masculinity looks like? It isn't cosplay with an AR-15. It's taking care of your family, owning your mistakes, and having enough sense to see what's wrong and work to change it. And by the way, if someone's entire sense of self crumbles because a cartoon has a different voice actor or a kid reads a book with a gay character, that's not strength. That's fragility with a God complex. The irony is the same people who call liberals snowflakes are the ones filing a lawsuit because Target had a rainbow shirt on aisle 7. They're the ones threatening civil war if their favorite reality star loses an election. They're the ones screaming free speech while they're banning books and trying to control women's bodies. That's not strength. That's not freedom. It's fear with a bullhorn. And here's the truth. The idea that the left is soft is bullshit. Progress takes courage, empathy takes discipline, and change takes work. It's easy to worship the past, it's easy to cling to power, but building a better future, that's hard, that's messy, that's liberal. And we don't need to match their volume, but we do need to redefine what strength looks like. Because the right, they aren't the oak legs holding up the table, they're the termites chewing through it while calling themselves carpenters. It's time to stop letting them own the story of what strength is. They didn't earn it, they just said it louder.
And if you guys want to follow me over on Instagram, same handle, links in the bio, I'll be posting some things there that I really can't post here. Join me in helping to call out the bullshit and bring some sanity back to the conversation.
More about the promises he's kept. What are like your top 3 favorite ones?
Number 1 is close the borders. We have fentanyls that the cartels has brought in. China for Joe Biden allowed those fentanyls that can kill each and every one of us.
I mean, that'd be crazy if we all died.
Yeah.
Like, well, who would buy more fentanyl if we were all dead, right?
Who would buy all dead? Well, yeah, right.
Okay, so that's 1, closing the borders. 2 more.
Now we are respected in every country again.
Which countries do you think have like really increased in their respect for America?
Israel. I'm a biggest supporter of Israel, and then of course we saw Saudi Arabia.
North Korea is increasing their respect as well.
Yes, yes.
Closing the border, restoring respect. Do you have a third one?
Like peace, I think. Peace, especially in the Middle East.
Peace in the Middle East.
If you believe in states' rights, except when a jury in that state convicts your nominee for president, you might be in a cult. If you claim you back the blue but want to defund the police when the police go to your nominee's house to retrieve national security secrets, you might be in a cult. If you're supporting a guy whose felony convictions prevent him from getting a security clearance, you might be in a cult. And if the guy you're supporting for president has felony convictions that prevent him from going to Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Cambodia, Canada, Chile, China, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Egypt, Ethiopia, Hong Kong,
my motion
India,
takes precedent.
Indonesia, Iran, Ireland, Israel, Japan, Kenya, Macau, Malaysia, Mexico, Morocco, Nepal, New Zealand, Peru, Philippines, Singapore, South Africa, South Korea, Taiwan, Tanzania, Tunisia, Turkey, Ukraine, United Arab Emirates, and the UK. You might be in a cult.
Yeah, we voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down. But it's obvious to me now that that was not true. Egg prices have skyrocketed. The bird flu is killing all the birds, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything about that. He's stopping disease communications from the disease centers in America, pulled us out of the WHO. Like, how does that help anything? And yeah, all he's been doing is taking away rights and freedoms, or trying to. He's not doing anything about the economy. So yeah, we totally regret our vote at this point. We've had a really tough time here in North Carolina. Half of my house got washed away in Hurricane Helene, and I applied for FEMA assistance and we got approved. But now Trump is canceling FEMA and emergency assistance to people. He's also canceled Medicaid for my children. I know they said they put a halt on his freezing of the funds, but the Medicaid portal is still not working, so we can't access anything for our children's health insurance.
All you single issue voters focused on genocide should be focused on women's rights and healthcare and over policing and climate change and children's rights and education and the most marginalized communities.
Breaking news. Peter Navarro, Donald Trump's advisor on trade and manufacturing policy, said today, along with a similar statement by Donald Trump, that the blocking and ending of tariffs would be an end to the United States. What? It would be an end to the United States? Well, I'm going to say the opposite is quite the truth and quite the contrary from what you're saying, Peter Navarro and Donald Trump. If we continue these tariffs, it will be the end to the United States in the economy and the average middle and working class and lower economic class people that need to work and buy things in the United States. How is that? Well, let's just look at history and look at what's going on right now. On the 29th of August, many countries are experiencing very high tariffs. Also, the de minimis tax, which exempted items under $800 that were shipped individually from out of the country, are now no longer protected and exempted rather, and we all will be paying significant taxes and tariffs on those. It's not only things that you and I order, but many people order stuff through this way for their business to sell. Many people and companies order parts and others. Also, this policy was to bring companies back to the United States. It is not. None of the companies that are located and doing manufacturing in China at this point, according to an article today in Politico, have made any indication they're coming back to the United States. They're not doing so. Why? We don't have the labor, the market. It doesn't make financial sense. Next, the economy in the United States. We're seeing inflation. We're seeing prices going up significantly. We're seeing companies slowing down. We're seeing many companies that sell products abroad are not able to sell like they once did. We're seeing companies lay off, and we're seeing all this slowdown. All this is forced by Donald Trump and his and Peter Navarro's tariff policy that does not make financial or economic sense to the United States. Let's go back and look at history. Let's look at 1930. Let's look at what the Republicans that were in control under Herbert Hoover, and that time it was the House and the Senate that voted, and actually Donald Trump is not supposed to be able to do this. That whole tariff policy is about, looks like the courts may completely end that, which would be good for the country as opposed to bad. But they basically raised tariffs under the Smoot-Hawley tariffs in 1930, raised tariffs around 60 or 70% on all products from everywhere in the world. It took the economy in the United States, it dropped it 75%. The economy fell to 25% of what it was prior. Everybody was laid off. Worst economic time in the history of the United States. All this was again brought on by the Republicans. What are they doing now? The same policies. These policies didn't work then. They don't work now. If you check any of the major economists in the world, they all say this. Tariffs hurt the economy. They reduce growth. They increase consumer cost. They cause inflation, and they reduce jobs. That's what they do, and that's what we're getting. In Donald Trump's mind, these tariff revenues that they're collecting, that you and I are the ones paying, China's not paying it, Canada's not paying it, Mexico's paying it. The average citizens in the United States, we are the ones paying this, in case you don't know. We're paying it because the importing company, which is typically an American company, is paying it, and they're raising the higher cost to us. We will pay it, and they're collecting money from us to put back in the U.S. Treasury. It makes no sense. Absolutely none. Love to hear from my Democrats, my Magas, my crazies, my cuckoos, my burned out light bulbs. I have a lot of people that send me messages on here. Their businesses are slowing down. They're worried. They don't know what to do. And this is what's going on. And it's all brought on by Donald Trump. It's not helping the U.S. citizens. It's not helping the U.S. economy. And we are not benefiting from this decision. It's an extremely, extremely, extremely poor decision. Again, repeating history once again, as was done in 1930, and we're seeing other history repeated in the United States that took place in the 1930s in Germany and Italy. There you have it. Love to hear from my Democrats, my MAGAs, my crazies, my cuckoos, my Brando light bulbs. Please don't make the same mistakes again. Learn from history.
So Donald Trump is back, rambling incoherently in front of the press after hiding from them for 7 days. In this clip, he says the stock market is down today because it needs tariffs. And if we get rid of tariffs, then we're going to become a third world country. Listen to this.
An expedited ruling because, when you look at the stock market's down today, the stock market's down because of that, because the stock market needs the tariffs. They want the tariffs. If you took away tariffs, we could end up being a third world country. That's how big the ruling. So we're asking for.
What is he talking about? That's not how economics works at all. Tariffs are, of course, nothing more than a tax on the middle class. You tax the importer, then they pass the cost down to the consumers. This raises prices while slowing economic growth. Economists have repeatedly pointed out that Trump's tariffs hurt American manufacturers, farmers, and consumers. And the idea that the market wants tariffs is laughable. The stock market doesn't respond very well to uncertainty. Remember that massive crash that happened a couple of months ago when Trump announced his tariffs? That is proof. And under Biden, the economy saw consistent growth and a booming stock market without threatening other countries with radical tariffs. If you listen real closely, you can almost hear him confess. He said that without tariffs, we're going to become a third world country, but in reality, if we destroy our relationship with all of our allies and have no one else to trade with, that will make us a third world country.
Guys, it's so unfortunate that a lot of people who voted for Trump, especially those people who are into business, like the small business owners, like it's so unfortunate that they voted for Trump, thinking that in his administration that their business would boom, that their business would grow bigger. There was this particular video that I saw of this white woman who said that she voted for Trump because of her business, because she thought that Trump regime would impact positively on her small business, or maybe that Trump's regime might help to expand her business. So unknowing to her that it wasn't going to come out the way she planned it, right? So right now, this woman who was managing her small business before Trump's takeover, right now, like she is about to shut down. Her business is about to shut down because she can no longer continue. She can no longer carry on due to the tariff that was placed on every businesses. So she is unable to continue due to the tariff. And not only her, this also goes to so many people who voted for Trump, even some small business owner. There was this another woman that I saw. She said that she took a loan to start her business, and unfortunately that this regime, in fact, that she cannot pay back her loan, and her business is going down, down, down. And this woman also, she is about to shut down her small business. So in fact, like Trump regime has not it has not benefit a lot of people, rather a lot of people, some of the things that people were benefiting from before his before he came into the White House, like they are unable to benefit from it anymore. And in fact, businesses are shutting down day by day. In fact, like a lot of things. Look at the Magas farmers as well, guys. Like, this is why I have been asking you guys this question, like, what have you guys achieved so far for voting for Trump? Like, what has really been your benefit for supporting him? And I really do think that nobody has given me a genuine answer, because from what I can see, for those of you who voted for Trump has not really achieved anything. You guys have not really benefit anything from the present day, from the present administration. Yeah, but nevertheless we move. Yeah, so guys, let me know what are your thoughts. Let me know what to think about this video in the comment section. Please don't forget to give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel in case you haven't subscribed already. So you stay tuned, guys, and see you all in my next episode. Bye.